Hello everyone, I wanted to do a quick video on this fantastic power amp. This is the Etude from Chord Electronics. This is from their Corel series. It retails for just under 5,800 USD. This is a fully balanced MOSFET circuitry class AB amp rated at 75 watts at 8 ohms and 150 watts at 4 ohms. I borrowed this amp from my friend Rob's personal system after he upgraded to the Chord Ultima Power Amp. Rob's system comprises of the Riga P10, the Aphelion moving coil cartridge, the Riga Aura phono stage, the Chord Prima preamp, and now the Chord Ultima Power Amp. And this chain is driving a pair of Harbeth SHL5 speakers. Rob is the owner of No Noise Hi-Fi in Toledo, Ohio. He is the dealer for Chord, Riga, Proac in this Toledo, Ohio area. If you're interested in these fantastic brands, go give him a visit. So back to the amp. Chord is a company that has always been on the forefront of hi-fi tech for the longest time. For example, Chord has been using the advanced high-frequency power supply technology in all their amps all the way back in 1989, I believe, on their SMP 900 power amp. That's over 30 years ago, when most manufacturers still use the conventional 60 hertz mains transformers or 50 hertz depending on the country, along with rectifiers and capacitor banks as part of their usual type of power supply. Actually, a lot of high-end amps today still use it, even to this day, but Chord's advanced technology, they used it way back then. The Chord website has a good description on what makes this type of power supply not only efficient but also conducive to the purity in the amplification of the source signal. Also, some good light is shed on the design of the Etude, but essentially it has the sophisticated high frequency switch mode power supply. Actually, internally, there are 3 of these individual power supply units. Etude's internal shielding ensures that these power supplies do not influence the critical signal paths. So 8 MOSFETs altogether, giving you that robust 75 watts at 8 ohms and 150 watts at 4 ohms. The amp is also bridgeable to mono mode to deliver 300 watts at 4 ohms. Start switch is at the back. Here we have RCA XLR inputs, speaker terminals, and phase switches. If operating in stereo, you want to make sure these phase switches are aligned in the same direction. Etude's phase toggle switches are capable of changing absolute phase. Positive is in phase and it's in the up position. Negative is out of phase and it's in the down position. You will find this feature useful if your preamp reverses absolute phase. Also, to correctly use the amplifier in the bridged mode, each input must have the opposite phase. One switch must be up and the other down. Okay, so the amp looks and feels luxurious. Startup of the amp and you'll hear this suppressed whoosh from the silent cooling fan just at the start. While the fan is running, you don't hear anything afterwards, and then you see these beautiful lights line up on the right side. Super quiet, putting my ears up to the speaker tweeters, same thing, no hiss, no noise. Speaking of sonic performance, talking about bass, mids, treble is sort of not doing justice to this amp. Of course, it does all of those things very well and retrieves all the soundstage details as long as your input signal brings it in. The specialty of this amp here is in the more advanced realms of timing, coherence, microdynamic nuances, and macrodynamic heft. See through the recording mix type of resolution. Frequency response at the extremes are always part of the whole as one organic sonic image entity, so to speak. This amp powered the Matrix B&W 801 S2 in my listening room, which is quite large at about 9,500 cubic feet or 270 cubic meters. And the case does not even get warm. So listening to Jim Hall's Ukulele CD. By the way, this album is available only on CD, not on vinyl. I cannot even find it on Qobuz for streaming. But listening to the CD is sheer bliss via the B&W 801s powered by the Etude. You get the sense of zero compression and unrestrained dynamics from Jim's lead guitar, Carmen Cuesta's dreamy siren-like vocals, and of course Grover Washington's saxophone and Dave Weckls' percussion work. It's like witnessing them perform in your listening room. The speed and attack of the leading edge of the notes, the shift in transients, the right amount of decay of notes hanging in the air, resolution and dynamics in full swing. So to conclude here and to put things in perspective, I have had the Riga Ethos here. It retails for about 4,800 USD, 4,700 USD. It's a fantastic amp that even an obsessive audiophile would call the Riga Ethos his last integrated amp and stop there. But as great as a performer as the Ethos is as an integrated amp, the Etude Power Amp brings even more realism in the sonic performance, even when being driven by a much cheaper, humbler Rogue RP1 tube amp in the chain. Also, the current integrated amp I'm using to drive the B&W 801s is the Wired for Sound ST1 1000. This is a very good measuring Class D integrated amplifier that puts out 500 watts at 8 ohms and nearly 1,000 watts at 4 ohms at very low distortion levels. Yep, the Etude sounds more powerful and more natural and more detailed than the Wired for Sound ST1000. Of course, there's a large disparity in price. The STI 1000 retail for about 2,000 USD, and you're looking at 5,800 USD. But that's what that sort of money going with the Chord Etude brings to the table. More realism, in short. So that shows, though, that there's so much more to sound quality than just the power ratings of amplifiers. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked this video of the Chord Etude. Let me know in your comments below if you've had experiences with this amp or any other Chord amplifiers or products in general. Or if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. More exciting hi-fi gear reviews to come soon. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.